Greetings and welcome. How are we all feeling today? Have you ever had a difficult habit that you want to break? And no matter what you do, you just can't break the habit. And this is because habits are a string of behaviors that are rewarded by the brain when they are carried out. Behaviors are something that we do in response to our environment, in response to our thoughts, and in response to our emotions. Behaviors can be seen as the person being good or bad, but that's not true. A person is separate from their behaviors, and that's why it's important to have that compassion towards people. People are not their behaviors. People just carry out a certain set of behaviors because of their mental conditioning, how the brain forms these rewarding habits. And a habit is so difficult to break because it's not something that is constructed overnight. And a lot of experts say that it takes 3 weeks, 21 days to break a habit. But honestly, I believe, and this is true, that it can take up to 6 months to truly break a habit. And it's not about necessarily unlearning the habit or unlearning the behavior. It's about relearning a healthier set of behaviors that overlap the bad habit or the negative behavior. We behave in certain ways when we condition ourselves through the experiences that we go through in our lives. And a lot of behaviors can be off-putting to a lot of people. And because of that, people are judged. And that's pretty sad because a person is not their behavior. A person is who they are at the core, who they identify as, how they describe themselves. A person is not the actions they do, but an action or a behavior can show if someone truly cares or doesn't care. Because if you tell someone to change a behavior and they don't change that behavior, it just proves to you that they don't care about the thing that you wanted them to change or the behavior that you wanted them to change. It just feels to that other person like you don't care. And unfortunately, the best way we communicate ourselves is not through words but behavior. Verbal communication makes up 25% of communication, and 75% comes from body language and behavior and the way we act, react, and respond. When we want to change a behavior, and as I said, it's not about unlearning, it's about relearning, doing the behavior just in a different frame, in a different context, in a different way. So you're still carrying out that behavior, but you're just doing it in a much healthier way. So it's important when you are trying to change a behavior that you do the opposite of the behavior. If you like to drink a lot of soda, when you feel like, oh, I could really go for a glass of soda, have a glass of water. And keep practicing that and keep practicing that and reward yourself with something. It could be something, anything healthy, you can reward yourself with something. Or you can just tell yourself, you know what, this feels good, this feels better. I think I'm going to stick to this. Then you are forcing the brain to make that adaptation. And when you are changing behaviors, the very first thing that you need to do is change your thinking and how you're thinking and your thoughts, because a behavior is directly linked to your thoughts and your emotions. And you need to change the way that you think about things. You need to change your perspective on things, how you view things, how you understand things, how you judge people, because your mindset will decide how you act, react, and respond. And then the next thing is emotional regulation, because behaviors have a lot to do with our emotions, because we express our emotions through our behaviors. So if we are a little bit more emotionally regulated, then it is easier to change a behavior because there's not always an intense emotion that is linked to it. And when you are trying to change a behavior, you need to go through a process of habits examination where you can take a piece of paper, write the habits as a heading, and then pros and cons, pros and cons, pros and cons. And do that with every negative behavior, every bad habit you have. And examine what is good for you and what is bad for you. Remember, your well-being comes first. And then always do something with good intentions, because that will lead you to more positive behaviors, more positive habits, and more positive outcomes. So remember, you are unique and valuable. Take care of that beautiful person. Stay strong wherever you're from. See you next